What do you want from me?
Say, what do you want from me, Catherine?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best female characters who attempted to con or seduce their way to a better life, to varying degrees of success. Be warned, spoilers will be discussed.
I inspired him to rise to my level. I forged the man of my dreams.
Number 20, Violet, Bound. Before they introduced the world to The Matrix, the Wachowskis directed this stylish crime thriller, playing with an old archetype in new and exciting ways.
Hi, my name's Violet. We sort of met on the elevator.
Sure, I'm quirky.
Reluctantly married to the mob through her boyfriend Caesar, Violet finally sees a way out when she meets ex-con Corky, who has been hired to renovate an apartment in her building. In true femme fatale fashion, she seduces the newcomer and eventually convinces her to help steal a significant sum from her current partner.
You have no idea what you're asking. How much trust it takes two people to do something like this.
As one would expect, the plan quickly goes awry, putting Corky's life in jeopardy. Thankfully though, Violet doesn't just take the money and run. This femme fatale pulls off the heist and gets the girl. Number 19, Suzanne Stone Moretto, To Die For. Loosely inspired by the real-life crimes of Pamela Smart, To Die For is a mockumentary akin to The Office or Abbott Elementary, but with a considerably darker angle.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Moretto. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Suzanne Moretto is my married name. My own name is Suzanne Stone.
Suzanne Moretto, or should we say Suzanne Stone, is at the centre of it all as the prime suspect in the shocking murder of her husband Larry. His desire to have a family was simply incompatible with her lofty aspirations of stardom, and she found it easier to dispose of him than waste any of her time with divorce proceedings.
Couldn't you just get a divorce? And then
he would get the condo. And he'd get the car. And he'd take Walter from me.
As a local news anchor, the devilish femme fatale manipulated a group of disadvantaged youth at the centre of her Teens Speak Out segment, convincing them to kill by lying about her relationship with her husband. Number 18, Ruby, the Neon Demon. While some femme fatales ride the line of moral ambiguity, Ruby is one of a select few that feels purely evil, although you may never guess based on her earliest scenes in The Neon Demon.
Hey, you want to go somewhere?
Where?
A party?
What kind of party?
The fun kind?
Played by Jenna Malone, the makeup artist initially presents herself to the young protagonist Jessie as a friend and confidant. She warns the young model away from questionable photographers and offers her a place to stay when she feels unsafe in her motel room.
Can you get out?
I think so.
Come here. You're gonna be safe.
However, this kindness is revealed to have all been a ruse, with her true intentions being sexual and cannibalistic. Some have criticised the character for playing into the predatory lesbian trope, but as a femme fatale, Ruby's narrative puts an inventive spin on an old archetype. Number 17, Matty Walker, Body Heat. Actress Kathleen Turner garnered a reputation as a sex symbol thanks to this smoking hot thriller. Set during an unrelentingly sweltering summer in South Florida, Body Heat finds its female protagonist Matty in a predicament familiar to any fans of the genre.
Tell me, does chat like this work with most women?
Some, if they haven't been around much.
I wondered. Thought maybe I was out of touch.
Come on, I buy you a drink.
I told you, I've got a husband.
I'll buy him one too.
She's saddled to an unloving and inattentive husband, dissuaded from divorce by the threat of financial ruin. Her only option? Murder. And thankfully, the corrupt lawyer Ned, with whom she is carrying out an affair, is up for the job.
Why, Ned? What's happened?
Because we're gonna kill him. We both know that. It's what you want, isn't it?
What makes Body Heat stand out from the crowd is the fact that its crime happens fairly early on, leaving plenty of time in its second half for Matty to play a complex mental game with both Ned and the audience. Number 16, Bridget Gregory, The Last Seduction. Linda Fiorentino commands our attention as the seductive Bridget Gregory in this textbook neo-noir. Using the alias Wendy Croy, the character escapes to a remote town, hoping to lay low long enough to make off with the $700,000 of her husband's cash.
So what? Hold on to it for how long?
Well, as long as it takes to finalize the divorce.
How long does that take?
He'll fight it, maybe 2 years, less if you're lucky.
Oh, Jesus, Frank.
She lies, manipulates, and even kills to get what she wants, all while charming the audience as her unsuspecting victims. Following the film's release, Fiorentino received several award nominations for the role, even coming up in that year's Oscars conversations before being disqualified on a technicality.
Commonality, Mike. We don't like to have the same kind of fun.
This is fun?
Yeah, it's bending the rules, playing with people's brains.
While we could do without The Last Seduction's last act transphobia, its Femme Fatale is one of the best conceived in contemporary film history, and more than worthy of a spot alongside her many iconic predecessors. Number 15, Cassie Thomas, Promising Young Woman. Some of the most dangerous women in film are also the most seductive, a trope which this subversive revenge thriller uses to its advantage. Promising Young Woman opens with its protagonist Cassie Thomas posing as a blackout drunk.
You're so beautiful. Do you mind if I just got a little smudge?
When a man attempts to use her apparent condition as an excuse to assault her, she flips the script on him, revealing her sobriety and shaming him for his behaviour. This is shown to be her typical MO, though she has plans to take it up a notch at the bachelor party of her late friend's attacker. While the character's approach to revenge can sometimes be divisive, it's interesting to see an archetype that occasionally lends itself to sexism tackled in such an overtly feminist way.
Do I know you?
I'm not sure you remember me, Al. You were so popular.
You're Nina's friend.
Number 14, Dorothy Valance, Blue Velvet. Regularly terrorized by the horrifyingly violent gangster Frank Booth, it's no surprise that Dorothy Valance is seeking a way out. Unfortunately for naive college student Jeffrey Beaumont, her way out involves entangling him in her complex criminal web. He quickly comes to the conclusion that Frank has been able to keep Dorothy under his thumb not only through the threat of violence, but through the kidnapping of her husband and young son.
I want you to stay. Don't hate me.
Oh, I sure don't hate you.
I'm not crazy. I know the difference between right and wrong.
That's good.
The pair enter into a sadomasochistic relationship, eventually leading to Jeffrey's own abduction and interrogation. Dorothy is a unique figure for a neo-noir, lacking explicit malice but nonetheless forced by circumstance to achieve her goals through dangerous, unconventional means. Number 13, Jane Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Imagine being married to someone for 5 years and never realising that you had the same occupation.
Does work?
Yeah, so.
This is the case for John and Jane Smith, who masquerade as a construction executive and a tech support consultant, but actually spend their days as highly trained assassins. Unlike most neo-noir dynamics, both sides of this relationship are guilty of manipulation and deceit, but it must be said that Jane is clearly the smarter and deadlier of the two.
Did you also get the base charge of the principal cable? Promise to leave town, or I'll blow it.
Okay.
John is lucky that their mutual feelings for each other got in the way of their missions, because if they hadn't, she undeniably would have come out on top. Number 12, Lyn Bracken, LA Confidential. In a world where everyone dreams of seeing their name in lights, Lyn Bracken just dreams of having a normal life. The cool girl works for Fleur de Lis, an upscale business selling sex with a celebrity slant, where even the girls' faces are not their own.
Bad news. You have to go.
Go?
Something very important has come up and you have to go, but I'll make it up to you, okay?
Through cosmetic surgery, Bracken's face has become Veronica Lakes, a real-world actress known for her work in films like I Married a Witch and Sullivan's Travels. Unfortunately, those drawn in by her prosthetic visage would soon find that marrying a witch would have likely been less trouble.
It would be easier for you if there was an angle, wouldn't it? You're afraid of Bud,
Because you can't figure out how to play him. He doesn't follow the same rules of politics as you do. Makes him dangerous.
Bracken's only true alliance is to herself, and she's more than willing to blackmail and manipulate those around her to get what she wants. Number 11, Mal Cobb, Inception. If Mal Cobb's name sounds a little macabre, it's not unintentional. The mysterious woman who haunts Dom Cobb's dreams is actually his ex-wife, and her self-inflicted death weighs heavily on him, both in his fantasies and reality.
What are you doing here? I know who you are. What are you doing here?
And although his subconscious's memories of her are initially clouded with guilt and desire, it's slowly revealed that their time together was actually more of a nightmare. While attempting to work out the specifics of dream sharing, the pair got caught up in an imagined reality where 50 years played out in a single night.
I'm asking you to take a leap of faith.
No, honey. No, I can't. You know I can't do that.
Mal's sense of time and space was forever shifted, and she attempted to bring Dom down with her when she resorted to drastic measures to wake up. Number 10, Catherine Mattole, Cruel Intentions. For Catherine Mattole, life is a game, and it's one that she's used to winning.
How do you do it? Where do you get your strength?
Well, I know this sounds corny, but whenever I feel the temptation of peer pressure, I turn to God.
The high-class high schooler presents herself to the world as the ultimate picture of good breeding. Clever, popular, and devoutly Catholic. All while getting off on the pain of those around her. In Cruel Intentions, she sets her sight on Cecile, the current girlfriend of her ex-beau, hoping to manipulate her into cheating, while also entertaining a high-stakes side deal with her stepbrother, Sebastian.
About that little wager of yours. Count me in.
What are the terms?
She lounges around their posh home, pulling these strings in the two low-down love plots until Sebastian's surprising connection to his mark results in her untimely downfall. Number 9, Roxy Hart, Chicago. Largely taking place in a women's prison, Chicago is ostensibly a film full of femme fatales, but only its protagonist, Roxy Hart, has a full man devoted enough to take the blame for her crime.
That true, Mrs. Hart?
I'm telling you, it's the God's honest truth. My wife had nothing to do with it.
Although the duo's cover story doesn't work well enough to keep Roxy out of the slammer, it's just the first in a series of manipulations played out by the character. She's quick on her feet, with natural charm and a devilish nature. She even manages to con the double-tongued lawyer, Billy Flynn, feigning pregnancy to win the favour of the general public when it seemed her case was losing traction.
Oh, don't worry about me. Oh, I only hope the fall didn't hurt the baby.
Number 8, Rachel, Blade Runner. From the moment she steps on screen, Rachel captivates both Deckard and the audience, rising above her status as a synthetic human with a unique magnetism.
Do you like our owl?
It's artificial?
Of course it is.
Must be expensive.
Very.
Though man-made, she remains mysterious, with unclear alliances and the capabilities for complex emotion. Unlike some of her archetypal predecessors, Rachel does not approach the protagonist with any malice, but her sheer existence sets in motion a domino effect that causes him to question everything he thought he knew about his world.
I'm not in the business. I am the business.
His mission to retire her is foregone for a whirlwind romance, with the futuristic femme fatale managing to make it out of the film alive despite the odds. Number 7, Mystique, the X-Men franchise. To become a master manipulator, a woman must be comfortable wearing many different faces. This is no issue for Mystique, whose mutant powers allow her to literally morph into entirely new identities.
You know, people like you are the reason I was afraid to go to school as a child.
Rebecca Romijn's version of the character in the first 3 X-Men films most closely aligns with her film noir influences, playing up her seductive villainy in service of Magneto. She's a real force to be reckoned with, executing a complex jailbreak, and infiltrating the US government by impersonating a senator.
The Beauty Registration Act continues to draw support.
Mystique.
We appreciate Jennifer Lawrence's unique spin on the character as well, but when it comes to the character's penchant for deceit, Romaine's interpretation simply can't be beat. Number 6, Zenya Onatop. GoldenEye. It's not uncommon for the women in James Bond's world to have euphemistic names, and GoldenEye's villainess Zenya Onatop is no different.
Onatop?
Onatop.
Your accent, Georgian?
Very good, Mr. Bond. You've been to Russia?
Not recently. I used to drop in occasionally.
The former Soviet fighter pilot and officer is a master of sexpionage, using her brute strength and striking good looks to execute some rather innovative assassinations. This special skill, paired with her allegiance to the evil Yanis Syndicate, makes her one of the deadliest women to go up against 007.
You think you can break me?
She even comes close to killing the famed agent twice, but is ultimately foiled in a fittingly crushing finale. Number 5, Ava, Ex Machina. Following in Rachel's footsteps, Ava offers a futuristic spin on a classic character type. As an artificially intelligent robot, Ava is meant to be subjected to tests by a young programmer named Caleb to determine her capacity for human thought and emotion.
You already know my name. And you can see that I'm a machine. Would you like to know how old I am?
Sure.
But as the film's plot unravels, it becomes clear that it is Caleb, not Ava, who is truly being tested. The android manipulates the newcomer into favouring her over her creator, Nathan, even temporarily cutting the power in their home to have private chats with him. Her tactics work as well as any human seductresses would, and her influence over Caleb eventually allows her and fellow android Kyoko to rebel against the man who gave them life.
Ava! Go back to your room!
If I do, are you ever gonna let me out?
Number 4, Alex Forrest, Fatal Attraction. This 80s pop culture phenomenon plays out like a PSA for not having an affair. What begins as a no-commitment one-night stand spirals out of control as the woman, Alex, becomes increasingly obsessed with her married lover.
Hi.
Hello.
This isn't a bad time, is it? I was in the area. I figured that...
No, you want to come to my office?
She threatens to harm herself, pours acid on his car, and even kills his daughter's pet rabbit. And while Alex's behaviour is a far cry from the cool and calculated plots of most noir women, her unpredictable mode of lashing out just serves to make her a more formidable foe.
I just want to be a part of your life.
Oh, this is the way you do it, huh? Showing up at my apartment?
What am I supposed to do? You won't answer my calls. You change your number. I mean, I'm not going to be ignored, Dan.
She is willing to do whatever it takes to get what she wants, and won't be stopped by anything less than death. Number 3, Amy Dunn, Gone Girl. Amy Dunn isn't like other final girls. She's dead. Well, technically missing, soon to be presumed dead. A little over an hour into Gone Girl, Amy takes control of her own narrative, and in doing so, completely upends everything we thought we knew about her world.
Nick Dunn took my pride and my dignity and my hope and my money. He took and took from me until I no longer existed. That's murder. Let the punishment fit the crime.
What initially appears to be an open and shut case of a husband killing his pregnant wife is revealed to have all been a setup, a calculated revenge plot for the crime of infidelity. She's definitely one of the craftiest femme fatales in film's history, and one of the most frightening.
Right now, it's all about our marriage. When two people love each other and can't make that work, that's the real tragedy.
We certainly wouldn't want to be on her bad side. Number 2, Selena Kyle / Catwoman, the Batman franchise. Few people in Gotham are able to get under Bruce's skin quite like Selena Kyle.
You make it so easy, don't you? Always waiting for some Batman to save you. I am Catwoman.
It's why the sultry cat burglar has become one of the Caped Crusaders' most frequently faced foes, having been adapted several times over both on the page and on the screen. Never committing to being fully good or evil, each iteration of the iconic character allows its actress, and the film she's in, a chance to try something entirely new.
There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne. You and your friends better batten down the hatches, because when it hits, you're all gonna wonder how you ever thought you could live so large and leave so little for the rest of us.
Whether she's a timid secretary who learns how to land on her 2 feet, or a waitress wrestling with hefty moral dilemmas, it's guaranteed that her presence will shake up both the plot and its protagonist. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Catherine Trammell, Basic Instinct. When retired rock star Johnny Boz turns up dead, his girlfriend, Catherine Trammell, seems like the obvious culprit.
You with him last night?
Yes.
Did you leave the club with him?
Yes.
Did you go home with him?
No. We had a drink at the club. We left together. He went home and I came out here.
Her latest novel details an eerily similar death, and the company she keeps includes convicted murderers. Nonetheless, she is able to sow seeds of doubt within the police force, using her innate desirability to her advantage. Lead detective Nick Curran proves to be her most malleable mark, falling hard for the could-be murderer over the course of his investigation.
What happened? Did you get sucked into it? Did you like it too much?
I don't know what you're talking about.
As a well-researched crime novelist, Catherine is one of the most perceptive femme fatales in modern history. She consistently remains 10 steps ahead of her adversaries, and delights in playing mind games with both men and women alike. Who do you think is the best modern femme fatale? Let us know in the comments.
Well, hello again.
Are there any other bars in this town?
Well, it's very nice to see you too. I've been looking all over for you.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.